Give you all a chance to say who you are and then talk a little bit about the initiative, and then there may be some questions for myself and with the crowd here. Okay.
First, I want to thank you for having us here. I also want to thank Arlene for making the trip up. It's a difficult trip for her to come up here on, just take time off from what she's doing, caring for one of her clients to do that. So I want to thank her for coming up, and thank you for having us here. My name is Benton Strong. I work on the Yes 1163 campaign. I just want to take a minute first. Probably some of you remembered that this passed as I-1029 back in 2008. It passed overwhelmingly with more votes than have ever been cast for anything in the history of the state of Washington. At the time, what it would have done was institute federal background checks as well as increase the training for home care workers up to 75 hours. Training is so huge for us right now. Right now, nursing home care workers get 85 hours of training here in Washington State, but home care workers who care for 4.5 times as many people doing almost the exact same thing but in isolated environments in people's home get less than half the amount of training as nursing home care workers. The most a home care worker would get is 34 hours of training. We're trying to fix that. The voters here in the state said that needed to be fixed 3 years ago. The state legislature, instead of implementing those policies, kept pushing them back and back all the way to 2014. So we have 1163 on the ballot to push that timeline back up and say this needs to be implemented right now. The voters have said so, and the safe quality care of our seniors and people with disabilities is at stake. So I want to introduce Arlene here and have her kind of talk about what it's like to be a home care worker, why this training is so important, and why we're trying to do this right now.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Arlene, and I'm a home care worker. And what we are finding that being home care workers, we're not getting properly trained like we should be. And different clients have different conditions. And a person go in and they're not properly trained to actually adequately take care of that person, but the state is not really getting involved enough to help us along with whatever you may call them, and it may be 2 or 3 weeks later, and it's a right now situation that needs to be taken care of. And I really feel that all of us as home care workers actually need the training. It is so important, because we've had people go in with a person having diabetes, and they may be in bed, person thinking they're sleeping. They could actually be in a diabetic, a coma, and by the person not being trained, they think, oh, well, Jenny's just sleeping this morning, sleeping in later, and sometimes they go through their whole ritual, what they do for the day, and well, Jenny must really be tired, so I guess I'll just clock out and go home. And then end up, she could actually die or be put in the hospital or have some real serious problems. And so whoever or whatever condition our clients have, we really want to be trained that we can better care, keep them from the emergency, hospital stays, and all these things. If we're trained, we can do a better job of what we do.
Find out where the candidates stand on issues dealing with the minority community. Listen to the forum at www.firstthursdayseattle.org.